The Muslim Student Association held its silent protest at the Stallion statue located in the Quad. Mohammed Al-Rasad, president of the Muslim Student Association, organized the protest.
The peaceful sit-in is to demonstrate our feelings towards President Trump and his recent actions and executive orders on the travel ban.
Texas State student Amanda Wood said her family was affected by the ban while it was in effect.
I have family whose their son-in-law and their granddaughter were stuck in Egypt because they had an Iranian passport.
The travel ban is pending constitutional review by the courts. However, President Trump has indicated he may issue a new order to avoid further appeals. For Bobcat Update, I'm Sarah Jenkins. Upward Bound dates back to President Johnson's 1964 War on Poverty. Director of the program, Ray Cordero, says many of the students chosen are first-generation to college students or economically disadvantaged.
We have 2 grants here at Texas State. We have one that serves Del Valle. That's 62 students. Del Valle High School is by Austin Bergstrom International Airport. And then we have our other grant, which serves San Marcos, Lehman, and Seguin High Schools, which is 89 students.
The federally funded program begins with high school freshmen and lasts 10 years, following them through their undergraduate degree.
We work with our students after school at their campuses, so at each individual high school, we'll meet on a specific day for 2 hours to go over things like critical thinking, reading comprehension. We help students with their grades. We make sure that they're on point with their classes. All of our students have a 2.5 minimum GPA requirement. And then on Saturdays, once a month, we have some sort of programming going on, be it a college visit of some sort, perhaps a parent summit, some sort of leadership convention, some sort of cultural activity.
Upward Bound also includes a 6-week summer program at Texas State where the participants live on campus and attend classes. Upward Bound staff and Texas State faculty and students assist the participants with tutoring, SAT prep, and college applications. For Bobcat Update, I'm Sarah Jenkins.
SBP, formerly the St. Bernard Project, is a disaster resilience and recovery organization. And so what we seek to do is shrink the time between disaster and recovery. It's a lot less emotional burden on a client who's definitely gone through a very traumatic experience. 4 days after the May flood, we deployed a team of AmeriCorps members out here to start mucking and gutting homes.
It's very complexly funded, so we have subcontractors to donate their labor, and some of them donated materials. It can happen very quickly, or it can really be a team effort over a long period of time.
SBP serves people who can't come home on their own. So basically what that means is we're serving the elderly, the disabled, families with children, single parents, and those are the people we prioritize because oftentimes after a disaster, people don't have the money or they don't have the resources or the know-how to recover on their own. People would not get home without our help.
For more information, visit sbpusa.org.
I've been a sugar daddy.
To get what you want.
If I'd like to have a sexual relationship.
You're gonna pay me for my time.
A cranky young woman, always on my ass.
This girl got her whole college. He paid it all off.
They liken it to renting a girlfriend, or in some cases, paying for friends with benefits. And while this concept isn't new, it is gaining popularity with college co-eds, especially the ones at UT and Texas State.
Yeah, we got plenty of people here who are trying to get college educations and aren't rich. And our workaday people, they're already working in jobs they must in order just to get through school.
It sucks. It sucks. It's hard. Can't afford to go to school.
As tuition costs continue to increase, more and more people are resorting to sugar daddies to take care of them and cover their tuition costs. In the past, many state schools funded a greater portion of students' tuition, keeping prices low.
It's bartender by night and going to the school by day.
For college students at this point at graduation is $30,000. And the argument was that what I was hearing was that we're better off in Texas, that the average for Texas students is only $27,000.
It takes an average of 14 years to pay off student debt loan, and for many students, it takes much longer. There are many students who feel they have no other choice but to resort to websites like Seeking Arrangement.
You can make anywhere between $2,000 a month to $10,000 a month or more. It depends on what your daddy wants. It depends on if he has those coins. It depends on what you want, you know, what you're getting in this for.
I'm trying to do the right thing for me. And I'm so happy that I'm actually here. And I get this man who wants to help me. I have no idea why. I'm just this little girl who wants to do the right thing. I want to be knowledgeable. I want to have the idea of doing what I want to do.
Seeking Arrangements is one of the websites that hooks sugar babies up with sugar daddies. Arrangements like those found on seekingarrangement.com are starting to sound more appealing.
Evolutionary psychologists would want to make the argument that men and women would gravitate to this sugar daddy kind of relationship. The older guy with more money and the younger woman with more looks and youth. I see it as legitimating it. I see it as a way to make it not particularly embarrassing and not seem like it's sort of steamy and disgusting. It's a way to make it seem okay to both parties, really. I sort of see it as mutual exploitation.
In other words, it's kind of like tricking, but you know, sometimes it's strictly platonic, which means you ain't gotta fuck. They just run you your money.
It's my only way out. I can't afford this. I'm not eligible because I make too much money because I bartend.
So this older guy who's got more money is trading that for the younger woman's great attraction. I'm going to be your sugar daddy. You know, you're going to be my, my sugar baby, and that's a lot softer and a lot less painful for everybody.
So this man says to me, "Hey, well, I think you're beautiful, and I think that you're talented, and I think that you can do this, and I will help you." And I say, "Wow, okay, what do I have to do?" And he says, "Nothing." And I say, "That's really strange." He says, "No, it's not strange. It's just something I want to help you with." So I take the bait, and he pays for my scholarship. He then asks me for sexual favors compared to, college tuition.
The women want as much money as possible for as much stability as possible. The men want to pay as little as possible for as much novelty as possible.
He was married with children. I put my nose to the ground and I did my studies.
In some ways, I guess I would say that the whole idea of sugar daddies and sugar babies is just another take on the oldest profession.
Hey, at the end of the day, as long as your tuition's getting paid for some way, somehow, I mean, does it really matter?
I win.
Good afternoon and welcome to Bobcat Update. Tax season is almost over, but the deadline is approaching. I'm Sarah Jenkins. The City of San Marcos is holding a bond election on May 6th for two propositions. They will focus on public safety and expanding the San Marcos Public Library. If the measures pass, the city will issue bonds in the maximum amount of over $32 million. This means average homeowners will have a tax increase of over $10 a month. Early voting will take place on April 24th and will continue to May 2nd. Coming up, the place where many of us buy our groceries is now the largest employer in the state. Democrats in the House and Senate are calling for President Trump to fire White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. During a White House press conference, Spicer referenced Hitler in an attempt to shame Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, saying even Hitler didn't use chemical weapons. After reporters in the room reminded him about the millions of people gassed during the Holocaust, Spicer apologized, saying the statement was mistakenly made and insensitive.
The comment comes as Jewish people around the world celebrate Passover.